So I want to talk to you about selfies from two people who you may not think of as taking selfies, Kim Jong-un and leaders of Singapore, and also Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. And I want to talk about video games. On the right here is a Bolsonaro video game. And on the other side is a game for Xi Jinping where you can clap and tap your phone to clap in praise of him. And if that's not surprising, then maybe this is that Benjamin Netanyahu is a big fan of Instagram's disappearing stories. And you can do Ask Me Anythings with him. And Ocasio-Cortez is also a big fan of this, and she uses fabulous stickers and engaging media to engage with her base. And what we're seeing here is an integration of things that we typically associate with reality television, with Kim Kardashian, is being used by state leaders and state powers to influence their audiences and their communities in new ways. And indeed, global realpolitik is intermixing with reality television, that the things that we think of as reality TV are being used to achieve as much influence as possible. And so as we're thinking about this, I think about the power of not just you-know-who, but the other you-know-who, who's literally created a Russian state television reality show where people can follow along with his life, see how he lives, and for him to, again, propagandize in new ways. Ethan Zuckerman in 2012 wrote about the Kardashian as a unit of measure for attention, but not just any kind of attention, but attention across all media, search, social, broadcast. And it's this unit of measure that shows how the Kardashians understood power in new ways, that it's an age of information overload. It's the attention that is the scarce thing. It's the attention that is the battle for contention, where people are trying to have influence. And attention equals power today, because we live in an attention economy. Ads, clicks, eyeballs, these optimize for reality television dynamics. Its studios had to adapt for dynamics of attention in order to maximize profits for show. Indeed, because we have watches, because we have televisions, we have radios, we have satellite TV, we have billboards, the only way to maximize your impact is to have a multimedia experience. And the only way to have a multimedia experience is through strong emotion, through controversy, through causing outrage, so that the entire media ecosystem, whether they like you or not, is forced to talk about you. And so it's this media ecosystem that shifts the dynamics. And so we shouldn't be surprised, though, that state leaders are adapting to this world, because state leaders have always done this. The new media of its time, FDR, created a radio show that allowed him to reach out to the American populace during times of anxiety and contention. And it was during this time that someone else was talking about the power of radio, that it would be for the 20th century what the printed press was for the 19th century, and it would radically change community life. But that person was not FDR, that person was Joseph Goebbels, who also embraced radio and its power and embraced film. And it's a reminder that the power of media does not go automatically to those who are just or who are right, but those who understand the affordances of those media and wield its power most effectively. And so as we're thinking about the future of media, I look back to the past. Edward Bernays, who wrote the great book Propaganda in the 1920s, talked about political content. It's not just about information. It's about identity. It's about a narrative. It's about emotion. And it's about tying politics to people's sense of self. And as we're thinking about reality television, we have to remember that reality TV is not just about reality. It's about scripting reality. It's about creating the fiction of reality. And that's what the power of these techniques are. Because indeed, the battle is not just about attention today. The battle is about narrative. And because narratives shape worldviews, it's the worldviews that shape our understanding of the facts and how we interpret the facts. And so we need to pay a lot of attention to how this works. So one more history lesson. JFK in 1960 understood the power of television, and he put on makeup during the first televised presidential debate. And those who watched him on television thought he won over Nixon. Those who listened to the debate thought Nixon won. JFK understood the affordances of new media. But it took 20 years for a literal film star to come to power to transform completely presidential communications for the film and television era, for what was then an emergent 24/7 news cycle. And so I suspect the stage that we're at today is we're all just putting on our makeup. We're all just getting started. So the question I have for all of us in media and technology and journalism who depend on the attention economy, what are we doing to adapt to the new reality? Thank you.